Hey, I was thinking. And so I wanted to come on here and share my thoughts with you. It's been a minute since I've done a video. And part of it is because I have come off of Facebook for a couple of weeks. I don't think it's been 20 days yet. I hope it hasn't been 20 days yet because when you're gone for 20 days, then your groups disappear. And I have a group that I've had for 12 to 15 years, and I need to get all that content downloaded before I'm gone completely off of social media. But I left Facebook one day. I didn't announce it because I was like, for what? Like I felt those invisible shackles tightening around my wrist. My timeline was unrecognizable. I didn't know the people. 47 kept showing up live, and I'm like, I know I blocked everything that has anything to do with him. So why am I seeing it? But we know that we're being manipulated. We see what they want us to see. What we share is being seen if they want it to be seen. And I felt those shackles tightening. And I was like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. But what I realized is that I'm still on IG. It's a little different to me over there. I still am sharing all the stuff that's happening. It's a mess and it's still dark. But I was like, I have to also, if I'm going to share darkness, I have to bring light. I don't want everything that I put out there to be all the mess that's going on in this country, all the doom and gloom. I don't want it to be just that. There is a heaviness, a darkness that is hovering around us. Even though the light is lighting today because it's sunny here in Cleveland, there is a darkness with everything that is going on in this country. And so I said, I have to do better. I have to be a light. And so I decided that I can come back. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on here. I want to engage with people still, but I want to be a source of information and inspiration. So those are my two things, information and inspiration. And so that brings me to why I came on here today. I was listening to a video yesterday, and I don't know who the gentleman was, but something he said sparked something inside of me. And it reminded me of a portion of my speeches that I do that's related to caring. If you know anything about me, then you know that I'm passionate about caring. I truly believe we're in a crisis, that we don't care enough for one another. And the election showed us that, right? 92% of Black women and 80% of Black men voted for Vice President Kamala Harris. And the reason that we did, besides the fact that she was the best choice and she's dynamic and would have done a great job, but we also voted for her because we recognize with the candidates, we're going to vote for the one who will reduce the harm that can be done to people, that will lessen the amount of harm. Where other people vote for self, they vote for me, I. They don't vote for the collective we and us. They don't recognize that we're all interdependent. And we see this every day because you see people who are having voters' remorse. They voted for 47 because he was the best candidate in their eyes. They didn't care what was happening to people being, especially immigrants or those who are DEI, right? Which we know part of that means Black. They didn't care about that. They cared about them. But once it affected them, now it's a problem. People didn't realize that DEI, veterans are part of that. Your disabled family member is part of that. Now we're figuring it out. Well, we knew, but now they're finding out. So I was listening to this guy and I was thinking about my presentation. And one of the favorite parts that I talk about, and I'm not going to talk about it or say it how I talk about it in the speech, but I bring up the sequoia tree. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the sequoia tree, but it's a huge tree. Base is 26 feet wide, grows 300 feet tall, lives for 1,000 years. I mean, it's a cousin to the redwood trees. If you've ever been to San Francisco and went to the redwood forest and you've seen those, it's a cousin to that tree. But there are so many fascinating facts about this tree, but there's two that I want to talk about today. One is that in order to maintain the species, for it to continue to live on, each tree only has to produce one fruit, just one. And so when I think about caring, I think about this, that if I can help one person, just one, care a little bit more, and then that person goes out and do the same thing, and so on and so on and so on, that's a movement, right? That is a movement. I truly believe that there are more good people in this world, in this country, than not. It's just that the bad people are loud and in charge. But I believe that there are more good than bad. And if we collectively come together, and if we can change one person's perspective, just one, we can create the world or the country that we desire. It just takes one. So that's the one thing. And the second thing is that the sequoia tree, it grows until it dies. So for 1,000 years, it continues to grow. And that is what humanity is supposed to do. But somewhere in society, we have learned to settle for enough, not recognizing that we're supposed to be more than enough. We are supposed to continue to grow until we die. I always say that if we stop growing, we die. We may not die physically, but we die. And so I wanted to come on here today to encourage you to care more and to help someone else care more, but also to remember to grow. Be a lover of learning. This is one of the reasons I love reading memoirs because I love reading other people's stories because stories is what connects stories are what connects us to one another. But also in their story, there's something we can learn that can help us be better. Even in fictional books, if it's a good fictional book, there is something you can learn, whether it's a new place, a new thought process, new whatever. There is something to be learned. So read. You can listen to podcasts if that's your thing, if you don't want to read. I always say that when you read, though, you're using your own imagination, not somebody else's. And so it allows you to expand. So I will always say, pick up a book before I say watch TV or listen to a podcast, but do something productive. And even when I say watch TV, I'm not just talking about regular TV shows. I'm talking about like Oprah Super Soul Sunday. It's something that's going to add some value to your life so that you can continue to grow. And that is my challenge for you to be, do, have whatever it is that you desire by continuing to grow. So make growth your word for the month, if not for the year, if not for the rest of your life. Grow. All right, that is it. Hopefully, I'll be back. I want to do more videos because I want to just share and be a source of inspiration. I will say this, if I go back to my group and download all that stuff, I should have content for at least 2 or 3 years because it was so much that I had talked about in these past years. Now, my videos, I probably can't share those again, but with the things that I actually took the time to write down, I can share those. And so, yeah, I'm going to try to do more videos. Wish me luck. But we have to be a light for each other. So if you do a video, let me know because anything that can give me hope and inspire me, I'm looking for it, especially when everything just seems so dark. All righty. Take care. Bye bye.